Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Water vapor loop for this morning, showing deep tropical, well, deep moisture associated with the one shooting trough, um, which is which is a little bit further east than you would normally expect it. Um, anyway, drag on the west side, high pressure, kind of being pinched this way with the flow. We have just some really complex flow here at the upper levels. This upper level low pressure here is moving towards our area and will interact with the surface trough along this area and help initiate, you'd say, a couple different features here, which will help initiate possibility for severe hail and wind tomorrow in our area. That being said, convective outlook for tomorrow for our area showing slight chance of no real tornado risk, but um, wind and hail risk, more likely a wind risk through North South Carolina, Southwest Georgia into the western panhandle of Florida. The rest of it is a wind risk and hail risk. And given how hot it's going to be in the environment, I wouldn't. This looks pretty spot on as to what's going to transpire. And today, going into Thursday, summer load, we're still under a marginal risk, probably for severe hail and winds up into the middle of the country, up into the Great Lakes region, Iowa, etc. But that'll be refined more tomorrow, as this is always this far out is always listed as a categorical risk or probabilistic, no specifics there. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Wanted to go back out to the tropics real quickly and just look at this potential system out here. Not looking too healthy really right now. National Hurricane Center has kept it on the outlook here of 40% chance of developing, but if it doesn't develop, if this there's not a lot of convection that is it's kind of, there's an upper level lower here, and there's this other little low pressure, which is, it's kind of interesting. Let's look at this again. There's an upper level low here. Trying to figure this out here. Trying to figure out which is which. Yeah, so you got upper level low here, and you have the low pressure that they're talking about be developing right here. There's developing some more convection. I just don't know if it's going to have time to develop or not. And you can see off to the just to its west, east, excuse me. There's a lot of stable air. So with the interaction with this upper level low here, the chances of development are quickly closing. We may get a quick tropical depression or storm if this continues to build here. They're pretty neat satellite image. First light images, you could see the shadows and stuff. Visible satellite, pretty neat. Anyway, what's driving our pattern? We have, again, upper level high pressure, broad troughiness and pretty strong winds in the northern tier of the states. Pretty much stays in place, and that's what's driving the heavy rain chances in this area here. And you can see this upper level low moving towards us, and that's what's going to be driving our severe weather chances, or helping raise the chances of severe weather in the coming couple days. You see it kind of hangs over our area and kind of loses some of its definition there. It slowly kind of almost is absorbed into the main flow, although the GFS wants to keep it there and possibly develop another upper low out to the east, possibly move it towards our area later in the period. You can see there's a broad, a very zonal flow developing across the nation, which will keep most severe chances relegated to the northern part of the U.S. for most of the period here. And as we move over in time, this upper level feature that gets really broad, and some troughiness develops over the east, northeast, which could bring us some severe weather later in the period, but that's July 2nd. And really, beyond that time, there's not, that's 8 days out. That's where I'm going to stop it, because it's hard to predict that past that far. Excuse me. I'm going to talk about temperatures. Let's go back a minute. I just want to show quickly the global tropical outlook. Next couple of weeks, excuse me. Given that it's going to be coming in July, tropical formation probabilities in the Atlantic tend to increase a little, move towards the east a little more. But in this graphic, you see the chances of development in the Pacific remain either 20 or 40% through these two periods here, with really not a lot of chances for development anywhere in the tropical Atlantic. Below average rainfall probabilities in the most of the tropical Atlantic. Excuse me. Let's look at the heat risk again for today. You can see again. I'm going to keep showing this every day. I know it's repetitive, but it's really, really important, And the reason it kind of disappears on this map down here is because that upper level low system and the amount of precipitation that's expected in that area. But you can see the heat risk is rare or long duration extreme heat. Thankfully, towards next week, the threat diminishes, although along the mid-Atlantic coastline, still likely major impacts on anybody who has. I'm just going to read this. This level of heat affects anyone without effective cooling or adequate hydration. Impacts likely in some health system, heat-sensitive industries, and infrastructure. So just be mindful of the heat. It's summertime, and take the necessary precautions. Let's look at precipitation nationwide here. I moved it up to possibility of 0.25 each day. You can see what we've been talking about, the flooding risk in these areas. This graphic doesn't like to load sometimes. Move through time, we see how the precip chances increase. Well, kind of goes around with this. Might be some high pressure still left over here, and encompasses a pretty large area here. This is a real concern. I mean, they have a lot of rain possibilities over a long period of time, and so do we actually. So I'm gonna pull up the flooding risk map. That's for today after 12Z, which is like 8 a.m. Moderate risk in New Mexico all the way up through here, as we kind of just looked at. Slight, marginal, slight on the same areas again. And kind of moving up into the Great Lakes, upper Midwest, along the East Coast, the Northeast, and still some effects possibly in New Mexico. So, you know, if we look at this map here, it shows the same thing. You know, flooding, severe weather, flooding, stalled frontal boundary here, which is providing another focus for heavy rain. Current radar, not heck of a lot going on with, but they in this area here in the city, there's flash flooding is possible right now. They have a flash flooding Mitchell scale precipitation discussion going on right now, which is not surprising. You can see the swaths of rain going all the way up through this area. Of course, nothing in the southeast right now. So the key takeaways are, the heat is going to continue. We're going to get some breaks in the southeast here in the next couple of days because of that upper level low and the rain chances. But it's going to be hot over next week for a good portion of the nation. Just be mindful of that and check on the elderly and make sure you have your air conditioning, at least a window air conditioner somewhere in your house. And like I say every day, don't go out and work in the heat of the day unless you absolutely have to. If you do, take a lot of breaks, drink a lot of water, wear sunscreen, etc. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.